Yo, what's up, everybody? This is your boy Backpack Mo, and I am back with the man, the myth, the legend. As you know him as the mad scientist. I didn't say the dungeon this time. Okay.
Please, thank you.
all right. Well, we were in the laboratory, so to speak.
Okay.
And you guys know I love traveling all over the world. Recently, I just got back from Moldova, right? And most of you guys are like, wait, what, Moldova, right? I didn't even know Moldova was a country until, I met my boy George, who actually took me there, where he's from, and I got to experience this like a great, just Eastern European country, and just to see, Moldova is one of the least traveled countries. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? When you're thinking about Europe. But I had a tremendous time. The people were really great.
They also have good wine.
They have good wine, right? And so speaking about wine, we actually went on the in the Guinness Book World of Records, the largest underground wine tunnel.
I
right?
heard about that.
Yeah,
man.
so
it's crazy.
not only you drive through it, it's an experience. You can see all the wine barrels that are stored in there.
What is it? It's in a cave system, right?
Yeah, it's in a cave system, so you're underground, so the temperature drops pretty low, right?
Yeah, so it's a built-in wine cellar.
Exactly, right? And it's
crazy.
Just been stored there, so not only are people purchasing wine from all over the world, you can actually buy a little section if you want to. Okay. To rent a little space. But yeah, like I said, shout out to Moldova. Really good time there. Good food, good people, good eats. I mean, when we drove across the border of Moldova, like the first thing I was doing, I was grabbing the grapes, from the tree, and I was like, you know what I mean? Like I'm like, someone else's backyard. I don't know where it is. Sorry, if I took your grapes, but they were good. It was great.
They're looking for you.
Yeah, exactly, right? And I'm probably gonna stick out like a sore thumb, right? Yeah. But yeah, we definitely it was a great time to go over there. Everybody was really giving and very, very nice to me. And speaking of which, one of the things that I brought back home was, as you can see right here, this is a Moldovan Cognac. Now, you really can't call it Cognac per se, because Divin, right? Because the French will go get after us. Cognac can only come by, if it's coming from that particular region in France.
Yeah, exactly.
So, with that said, but this is a Cognac, their version of it too as well. So, I brought it here. It was a gift to me. Shout out to my boy Yuri, if you're watching this back over there in Moldova, man. Thank you for all the hospitality and bringing me this Cognac. So, I'm passing it off to you, Justin. And I don't know your experiences with making Cognac cocktails, but I know we've sipped on Cognac a couple times here and there. You know what I mean? But let's make something with it and see what we can do.
I'm ready, man.
All right, cool.
You gotta take a shot first.
Oh, okay. Let's take it. Yeah, let's definitely. All right. So we figured before we get into making a type of cocktail, before I'd rather pour you a little bit, so you kind of know what it tastes like. We know what we're kind of working with the experiment. So I'll do the honors. That's a big pour.
That's a big sip.
Right. Well, I mean, I don't want you to make
I'm not complaining.
any mistakes. So you know what I mean.
Exactly.
All right. Hopefully, there's enough to make some cocktails. All right, that is there. Not oak is how you say cheers. All right, so tell me what you think. Like now, how does this differ from the Henny? You know what I'm saying, or the other cognacs that are
so I'll say off the first sip, it's a little more of like a sweet grape. So it's grapey, but it's also lighter too.
Yeah. One more sip, yeah. Yeah, definitely agree.
It's got more of like a sugary, grapey, kind of syrupy feel to it. I want to say, it's a little bit different. It's not as complex. It's a lot lighter than what I'm used to.
Yeah.
As far as cognac is concerned.
Right.
This isn't something necessarily I would sip on a regular basis.
Okay.
Because of the sugar content, but I can see that translating into a better cocktail.
Okay. Yeah, I got it. Yeah. No, I totally agree. It does have that, that cognac type of warmth feeling that you have there too. But I like it. The nose is great, and even if you, like you said, I know you said you didn't want to particularly sip on it. but I could see us killing this bottle and not feeling like,
And
oh
that's
my
what I mean.
gosh.
So this is like hey, let's take a shot.
You're right. Yeah, let's take a shot.
But
Right.
we're still good. It's not
Right.
so strong that I'm like, oh man, that's it. No, I could take a couple shots of these, you know what I'm saying, throughout the night and have some good times. I'd rather take shots of this than Henny because
I think it kind of works both ways. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm interested to see. You know what I mean? Like I like it just by itself. I'm interested to see what type of cocktail that you're gonna come up with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I said, you're the mad scientist. I see all these things going on over here.
A few ideas
I don't
about
know
what we can
what's
do with
going, but you know.
Off record, we killed one of these for lunch one day.
That's what I know.
Yeah.
I remember.
But yeah, like I said, I'm interested to see what you got. I mean, I see some things here over here. I'm just gonna step back and let you do your thing. Talk to me about what you think and how you can kind of come up with something itself.
So, after tasting this, so one thing for me when it comes to cognac or brandy cocktails, for me personally, it's hard to like do something extreme.
Okay.
Like, you know, when you talk about a sidecar or something like that, like it just works. Lemon, a little bit of simple syrup, it pronounces the cognac itself. Now with this being as light as it is, I wanted to go a little crazy, try something a little bit different, bring something else to the table. So we're gonna do somewhat of a sidecar, but we're gonna do some weird innovation with it.
I mean, I wouldn't expect any less from you. So yeah.
So again,
So what are we doing
For
here?
everybody out here, when I do these cocktails with Mo, this isn't something like I do extreme research or heavy things on. For me personally, I love the experimental side of it. I love to come here, hey, I got this great idea. I go to the store, I'm like, yo, Mo, I'm at the store. You know, what you think about this? I'm gonna get this, I'm gonna get that. I do a little research in there, and I just kind of like to experiment. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. But I like to keep myself free and just keep myself open because it allows me to try some crazy things that might work. So what we're gonna do is something that's a riff on a sidecar.
Okay.
All
For
right,
those who
so-
don't know, like what a sidecar is, can you kind of explain?
Sidecar is
the
like one of the
basics?
most traditional versions of a cognac drink. You're gonna get lemon, Cointreau, brandy, sugar rim. It's a little sweet, a little sour. It packs a punch, but it's also easy sipping, and it has a little heftiness. Like it's a little strong.
Right. Because
So-
not everybody can drink just like just
No, straight up.
just
And I
spirits.
think a lot of that has to do with the mentality of it. Like, it's not like for the average consumer.
Okay.
A lot of people think it's not for the average consumer, so I'm not just gonna go out and drink, cognac. But you can make cognac palatable in any way, shape, or form.
Right. Okay.
You can break it down, or you can build it up. We're gonna try and build it up.
Okay. Let's do it.
All right, so what we're gonna start with a traditional build of a sidecar. Now, usually I use lemon juice, but I'm gonna use an ounce of lime juice this time, just to kind of break out the note.
All right. Interesting.
So what I have right here is, instead of using regular simple syrup, I'm using turbinado sugar, as
Okay.
opposed to white granulated.
Okay.
And then I steeped it with a little bit of sweet tamarind and cardamom.
Yeah, so it's like a brown sugar type of mix.
Exactly.
Right?
So it's a depth of sweetness, but a little bit of complexity, but nothing too crazy. But it should add like a certain spice to it in my mouth.
Okay.
Now here's a crazy ingredient and a variant that I wanted to add to it to kind of see if it worked. So this is just pure coconut water. So in my experience, I got family from the Caribbean and everything. So tamarind, coconut, like a lot of these things do work together. So I'm trying to balance these two kind of flavor profiles out. So I'm gonna add about 3/4 of an ounce of just coconut water. And then for a little bit of brevity, a little bit of lightness, we'll add some sage. About 2-3 leaves, throw that in there. All right, so, almost forgot.
Yeah, the most important ingredient, right? Yeah,
The most
exactly.
important ingredient. So we're gonna put about 2 ounces. So traditionally, if I make a sidecar, 2 ounces of cognac, brandy, 1.25 ounces of lemon, ounce of simple syrup, like 3/4 ounce of triple syrup, orange liqueur. But we ain't doing no orange liqueur.
Okay.
I don't like that. somewhat of a traditional build. I'm not an orange liqueur fan. I just think it's just too sweet. So it's one of the reasons why I use the turbinado sugar to compensate for that extra sweetness.
Yeah, and that the spirit itself is already pretty smooth.
Yeah,
so it doesn't really need anything extra. So, nice color in it.
And again, I'm not a sweets guy, so traditionally you'll get a sugar rim. I'm not a sugar rim kind of guy. And then what we'll do is give a nice little twist.
It's kind of already like an orange-ish, you know what I'm saying, like color that you have to it. So, okay, right on top.
There we go.
So voila, boom. There you have it, the Moldovan sidecar.
The Moldovan
yes,
sidecar.
that's
Okay.
right.
Okay.
Let's go. All right, so yeah, let's try it out.
And side note, guys, look, for those actual mixologists that, where's the orange control again? I made it very clear. I just don't like it. This is just my preference. This is just what I do. Please don't come for me, because I ain't gonna respond. This is just what I like.
Hey, bro, and you know what? And I'll say this: you're the scientist, you know. So whatever you want to mix, bro, like it's on you, bro. I'm just here for the show.
I just know somebody.
Yeah, that's it.
I would probably say something too, but like, I'm just letting you know.
Hey,
I ain't
man.
putting it in there.
Hey, man, like I
I
said, when I put it in your hands, you just go ahead and just make whatever you want to, concoct. So this is the thing, bro. Shout out to you guys in Moldova, everybody watching. Moldovan sidecar, Narok. Oh yeah, you still taste that citrus in there. So I don't think that it needs that particular.
And I'd rather go fresh orange than cordial version of
Right.
it.
And I noticed that you always, for a lot of your cocktails, you use
Pick up a little
fresh fruit
Always, and that's my thing.
and fresh herbs too.
I love to use fresh, very simple ingredients. I'm not so much of like, oh, I'm gonna use this aperitivo and this amaro and this added. I'm not that guy. I love being fresh and simple and keeping a lot of things very light, so to speak.
It makes a totally difference.
Yeah.
A lot of things that you guys don't see behind the cameras when he's making is like his fresh juices. He's going back with a blender, or picking the herbs, and or stuff that his simple syrups that he makes. Sometimes it just takes a longer time to
all
do.
All of this we made, an hour before we started shooting. I made this syrup, an hour, let it chill a little bit. The sage we just freshly bought. The coconut, I just cut up a coconut and juiced.
It makes
Speaking of coconut, do you taste the coconut?
Yeah, I did on the back end. Yes. It makes a total difference in the complexity of the cocktail as opposed to you just using. Now we work in in the bar industry, and sometimes you got to be quick. You got to use the the little small mini cans of pineapple juice or whatever it is. But like I appreciate you actually taking the time and actually putting your foot into it, and really making the fresh juices and all that stuff and the simple syrups. All these, it's the whole cocktail you can really taste in it. And if you guys back home could taste it, you would taste a major difference in it.
Yeah.
So, appreciate
I'll say the difference between this, for the most part, between the traditional sidecar is with the coconut, with the tamarind, with the cardamom. There's like this fruity spice, but it's not so much citrus. So for those that love sidecars for that citrus bite, this is not what you're gonna get. This is more of like a juicy. It's very juicy. You get a little sweetness from the tamarind, some cardamom, but a lot of coconut in the back and a little bit of zest from the orange, and the sage just enough to give it like this little bit of herbalness. So I do really like this. This is not by any means a traditional sidecar, but I think it does very well.
Yeah, we're just here experimenting, and you're bringing different worlds. I mean, literally, we're bringing a Moldovan cognac over here, and then we're making a sidecar off of all of this stuff and bringing all these flavors together. So I mean, when you mix it all together, you get this, and this is what I like, and I enjoy it. Shout out to you, man. 10 out of 10, bro.
Appreciate it. Got you. Keith Lee.
Yes. Yes.
10 out of 10.
Yes. Got you.
Cheers, brother.
All right. Cheers, brother. Thank you.
It's pretty good.
It is. All right, Justin, as always, man, thank you so much, man. I'm waiting for the time for you to fail me, but you haven't yet. So I appreciate definitely all these crafty cocktails that you come up with, and hope you appreciate me bringing things back from different countries and
You
exploring.
keeping me drinking, man. I can't appreciate that enough,
Yeah,
man.
so,
Keep me in the game.
This is motivation for me when I'm going out. I've added this thing to my itinerary. Like, okay, now I'm in this country, so I got to make sure that I got to bring something back for Justin to be able to add something to the whole repertoire. And hopefully one day we can look back at all this and see all the countries that I've been to and all the different cocktails and things around the world. Maybe even open up a bar someday. But that's another story. I appreciate you again. Make sure you guys follow Justin Scratch Cocktails, man. Like I said, he makes amazing cocktails. If you have any questions like that, make sure you definitely hit him up. If you're trying to figure out, where do I start? What do I do? He is the source where I always go to. And I appreciate you very much. Narok to everybody back. And we out. And peace. Peace.